There's something about wearing a wig that all women with hair generally do, which is always have a hair tie on their wrist. And so that became all part of the act. My name is Kylie Bamberger. I am 29 years old. I have alopecia, which is an autoimmune hair loss disease. And this is my life in 6 photos. I was definitely very confident the day I got my first bike, my youngest photo. That would have made me feel like Superwoman. I would have felt like I had a cape that came with that bike. Carefree. This is in the garage. This is probably right around the big 1994 earthquake. I really remember literally the wind blowing through my hair. I did not care what my hair did or looked like. If it didn't get in the way of me riding my bike or going out and playing handball with my friends, we were fine. My mom used to brush it and spend hours brushing the knots out in our hair in the bathroom mirror. I just wanted to be out there playing with the boys and just, running around causing havoc. I still dream that I have hair, or I remember brushing it and feeling like the bristles of the hairbrush brush past my scalp, and that's a very bizarre feeling for me because I haven't had that actually happen to me in 10 plus years. I think I'm the most hopeful in the middle photo here. Effortless-ish classic. So I was always a middle part kind of girl when it came to my hair, but it was during this time that I would have had bald spots. So you can't see in this photo, and that's very intentional, but you can see that part of my eyebrow is missing. And I remember going to the salon to try and fill my eyebrows in with a little bit of pen here as well. And eyebrows and eyelashes serve a purpose. Like your eyelashes protect dust from getting into your eye. Your nose hairs protect, particles flying up there. So I actually definitely notice and feel the effects of not having those types of armor. This is actually a video from the day that we shaved the rest of the hair off my head. And I was so ready. It really was kind of like a culmination of so many events that had to happen to lead up to that point. When I first started wearing this wig, the one thing the woman at the wig shop recommended that I do is to pull out my natural hair a little bit around the front from underneath it. So you can kind of see some of my natural hairs still framing my face, so it didn't look so much like a wig. Leading up into this point, my hair had started falling out really rapidly. I remember sleeping in one morning, I woke up late, took a shower, and I remember remarking in the shower wow, there's a lot of hair falling out right now. It must be a really big bald spot. The first thing we went to is try and find a treatment, find a cure. But by the end of the week, so much of my hair had started falling out. It was figuratively and literally holding on to the last strands. They were strands of hope. They still stood for my real hair. That was still something that you could see okay, no, she still has enough. It was only a few weeks later for Mother's Day that we filmed this. And it made me happy to shave off my past. It felt like I was kind of letting go. If I could go back to any of these photos, it probably would be my high school graduation here. By the time I was a senior, if I had still had my hair, I wouldn't be that same person. Blonde and brave. So this is my first main wig that I wore every day. It had roots, it was made of real hair, and trying on wigs is a real weird experience. It's like trying on a bunch of shoes that never fit. Nothing feels like your hair. Nothing feels like what you know and loved as your own. And immediately I knew that this wig was better. It was better quality. It was real hair. It had movement to it. It breathed. That whole day was such a blur for me. Had to wash my hair that morning and it didn't dry all the way. When it came time to put the cap on with your gown, I couldn't clip it in like everyone else could because bobby pins don't really fit in wigs. Bobby pins and wigs don't get along. So when I clipped it in, I also clipped a little kink in my hair, and that's why it looks really disheveled right in the middle at the front. That was the wig that everyone would have known me by. My senior photos are taken in that wig. And I just kind of had wished that my senior year yearbook photo was me without hair, because I think that shows a lot more about how far I had grown, and the wig just kind of doesn't do it justice. It's uncomfortable to look at these photos. You might not realize, when we have our peaks and valleys in life, maybe I wasn't aware that this was a valley. But now looking back at it, it's like, this person's really lost. And like, this person really doesn't understand herself at all. Probably the most hopeless in the red wig when I was in college. The redheaded duck face. In this photo, I'm such a chameleon. My best friend's college night at a skate rink. We wore matching outfits. You can't see, but I'm wearing bright red silk boxers underneath that shirt. I chose to wear the red wig because their school colors are red and white. I was wearing skates and I was wearing short shorts, and I thought I was pretty hot shit. I'm pretty sure there's a couple water bottles in someone's backpack with vodka in them somewhere, you know, classy. There was definitely like a Clark Kent phase of my life in college. I think it was a redhead for school, bald for soccer, and then a blonde for work. Like, I had to keep myself in check on those personas because of those people in those spaces had to match the person that those people expected to see. So I got the red wig from a show called Sheer Genius. I think it was meant to just be like a feel-good episode, like look what we could do. I think they truly believed that they were doing a great thing for women without hair, but looking back, they really only reinforce that women are only beautiful with hair.
All of your clients are living with alopecia.
When I got this redheaded wig, I remember going out to a bar or dinner one night with my cousin, and they didn't card me, which made me feel more adult. It definitely also made me feel a lot more like sexy, but the hair on it is not as high quality as the custom wigs that I have owned. The cap was not a custom fit cap. So the cap would have had a little elastic across the back that you would use like little bra clips to fasten in and secure. And the color on it wasn't great. It washed out really quickly. It faded really quickly. There was a lot of layers cut into that hair to give it a lot of volume. Whenever those big curls would fall out, I was left with a wig that had a lot of these little layers in it that actually looked very strange without, you know, the curling iron that had to go through it. The maintenance on that wig ended up being a lot more than something more simple, something more natural. This would have been near the end of college for me. I feel like I could breathe a little bit more in this photo. This Kylie's far more relaxed in her own skin. Incognito bald. In this photo, I'm at dinner with my family at a restaurant in Malibu. To get my wig to curl like that, I would have braided it. I could braid it, you know, on a Monday and it'd still be weavy or curly by Friday. I don't have an actual price tag on this wig, but I know that it's upwards of $5,000. It was custom made for me, from the cap to the color to the length to the cut. Everything about this wig was about me. And I've always had long hair. I never had short hair. So it was important to me that it would be long. Now it's 10 years old, but this is probably 5 straight years of serious wear and tear. This cap would have been white or much more like flesh tone at one point. This outer part is all actually made of silicone, so you could actually use double stick tape to stick it to your head, which would literally secure it for hours. So if I was going out and I was really self-conscious about making sure my hair stayed on, if I put that tape in these areas, especially like the ones around the front, you wouldn't be able to yank this wig off my head if I had the tape on. But I really didn't wear the tape very often because it was just so painful and it was just a hassle to have to deal with. You can actually see around the crown here where all the individual hairs have been sewn in. So they each actually have their own direction. The way our normal hair grows, they're giving it movement, they're giving it apart, they're giving it motion. So if the wind blew, my hair would blow, versus a silicone or some of the wigs that don't do that. And then this mesh back here actually allowed it to breathe, which in other wigs, they did not have that, and it would have been very hot. When I would wash this wig, first things first that they taught me was you can only go down with your shampoo and your conditioner. You cannot go up into it because it changes, I guess, the directionality of that wig. I loved this wig, and I still love this wig because this really, like I said, is an extension of myself. To me, what I've really discovered just sitting with you guys here today is how similar I feel in both of these photos. And looking back and how at opposite ends of my timeline, they're both my happiest as well. Secure / confident. This is actually my best friend's wedding, and I remember the conscious decision to not wear my wig as her maid of honor. And everyone's mom tells them that they're beautiful. It's very different when your friend on the biggest day of her life says, you know, whoever you are is who I want you to be with me up there. Within a month of dating Sai, he made it very clear to me that if I wanted to wear my wig for myself, that would be fine, but I did not have to wear it for him. And that was probably the last time I ever felt compelled to wear my wig. I remember thinking like, this is a big deal. He was the one. He was the guy that was gonna be there for me. I'm pregnant, which is really weird to me. So there's a good chance that if I have alopecia, then my baby could have alopecia. And that could happen when he or she is 2, or it could happen when they're 22, 42. There's no telling. The big difference between the Kylie that's sitting here in front of you right now and all of the Kylies in the photos that are sitting in this box is that I am grateful for having alopecia. Like, I look back and I am thankful for the experiences that I have, because had I had not had those experiences, I would have never met Sai. I would have never married him. I wouldn't be pregnant with, our child. And I always say that alopecia has given me so much more than it ever took away.